Hey YouTubies. Alright, so I just had my steering bearings done last week. I got some AllBalls bearings. Took it to my really good, reliable, honest, smart, observant mechanic. Reasonable rates. And but I hate the steering bearings right now, and I think it's a settings issue. I'm not blaming anybody. My mechanic's been very game to correct the issue, and I know he wants to find the right settings for these bikes. It's tricky because it's part preference, part science. But the steering bearings are supposed to remedy a problem, a known problem with the Ninja 300, where the bearings go bad. Use the deceleration lane, dumbass. They go bad like after 1,000, 2,000 miles or whatever, and you get this vague, loose, wobbly feeling in the steering. Well, my steering felt awesome before we put these bearings in. I currently have 3,152 miles on the bike, but now the steering feels like shit. Utter shite. Like right now there's a vagueness. There's a vagueness, almost like there's a hinge between my bars and the wheel and the forks. And I don't mean like a normal type of thing. It's like there's my input, and then there's this weird cyclical other input, like the bearings are shot. So it feels terrible, especially when I'm lane splitting. It reduces my accuracy. It's like someone moving the bars for you. That's how it feels, like a bad passenger. Okay, so I'm meeting with DFC today. It was a Honda Grom back there. I'm meeting with DFC today, and he's right behind me. Hi. And we are going to test these bearings by swapping bikes. He has the same bike as I do. He has the AllBalls bearings. You know, he's quicker than I am in a few spots. I'm quicker in the higher speed stuff. So his bike's nearly identical, about the same level of skill in most places. Same sprocket, everything's so similar. We're gonna switch bikes today and see what the dealio is. At first I want to see if he notices that my bearings suck, or the way they're configured. And I want to see, actually this is a triple lane and I need to get over to the right here. Let's just go this way. So we're going to switch bikes, and I want to see if he notices that mine suck and his are awesome. Grom! What's checking? Good to see you. Okay, so DFZ and I, we're just gonna switch bikes, and because my bearings suck and his are probably allegedly pretty good because you seem to ride okay on those. All right, so I'm gonna sign out right now and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, all yours. All right. Okay, moment of truth. We're gonna try out TheDeltaFoxtrotZulu's bike right now. He's got a Ninja 300 just like mine. A lot of the same mods, but a lot of different mods too. He's got a Gixxer shock, which is a great thing to do. He's got the rear sets, probably Yosh, and but sprockets are the same basic bike. He's got the improved horsepower with the full exhaust and the ECU tune. So let's see how it goes. And he's got a gear indicator, which is awesome. And both of us need to clean our bikes too. Wow, his bike feels lower than mine.
Should feel very similar. A little bit different fuel engagement or fuel management.
Okay, so this is with the AllBalls bearings. Ninja 300, DFC's bike, installed by the same mechanic, by the way. That's an important variable. Now I'm gonna let him go ahead of me, and he's probably gonna want to stop early because the bike's gonna feel like shit. Now let's see, does this bike feel good? I don't know, it's got a lot of engine braking just like mine. But it feels better than my bike. Let's try the Weave cyclical. This bike feels pretty good. Doesn't feel loose. Go ahead. Okay, so this is DFC on my bike.
Seems alright. I can feel a little bit of squirreliness. I don't know. Trying to feel what it is. I don't know. I'm not noticing a problem yet, necessarily. Maybe I'm just a little more subtle or more heavy on the lines.
I know what I'm perceiving. Both of us know our bikes pretty well. This bike feels rock solid, actually. That Gixxer shock is very interesting to feel that. It feels very planted and stable. It's so weird riding another 300, which is so similar to mine, but it feels so different. So the bearings feel good on his bike. I don't really feel any looseness. What I've noticed with my mechanic is he had to order that special tool to tighten the like the steering nut, because that otherwise you got to do it by feel, and it could be that he got Dan's right, and that mine is just he didn't get it right immediately, and it's just voodoo. So he's ordering that tool, and we're gonna go back and do the torque figures exactly right and work from there.
Seems okay. I mean, I'm not noticing what he's feeling too much, at least anything I guess coming from the front.
I like the gear indicator. Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty good. 4th gear. Interesting shock. See, Dan's shock does not let the bike dive and raise up the front so much when on acceleration. It feels very level. Let's try lane splitting. See, he's doing a lot of weaving like I did when I... Oh shit.
Whoa. Fucking...
Bad timing, dude. I like Dan's quick shifter, works really well. That fucking guy opened his car door right in front of Dan on my bike.
There's a little something there. I just don't know what it is. Definitely a lot of vibration. Well, maybe that's just the fact I have those vibration things. Oh yeah. Okay. A little load, I can start to feel it. Alright.
It's really precise. Big rock. Like, I could probably rail on this bike the way it is set up right now.
Yeah, there's something there. You didn't notice it till you get to the higher speeds. And you get the load on the bike. I can see it.
So I'm just keeping an eye on Dan if he wants to pull over. Seeing a Honda Grom on the road is pretty awesome sauce. I'm so glad that fucking kid didn't touch Dan or the bike or cause an accident. That I got it all on camera. Another reason to vlog. Looks like Dan's comfortable on that bike, but I'm sure he noticed something. Because I know this bike too well, you know. You ride a bike long enough, and you know how it should handle. You know what's wrong. He's giving me the universal signal. Yep. Okay, let's get an interview with Dan.
I'm okay to keep going if you're okay.
I'm enjoying your bike. Your bike's good.
Yeah.
Set up nicely.
I felt a little, there's a lot of vibration, and maybe that's partly because I have these and you don't.
Yeah.
And there was one turn where I thought I felt something. So I think if I get into more turns where I put some more pressure on it, I'll feel it better.
Okay, okay, sure. Yeah, Dan hasn't adjusted his clutch, but that's okay because the levers are great. This is an ideal person to get a reading from because he knows the bike like I do, and he has the same bike, same mods really, and his bike is handling pretty darn well right now. Like these bearings, I'd be happy with them.
I can't tell if it's just the vibrations or there's something in the bearings fighting me.
I'm just thankful that he came out to try my bike for me. Because the mechanic was saying, you know, I wish I could try this stock, or I wish I had a stock one to compare to. And that makes perfect sense, because a little bike you're not sure what to expect if you don't ride them a lot. I like this turn right here. It's a fun little throw it in. Yeah, Dan's bike feels pretty stable on the rear end, and the high rear sets don't feel too bad actually. See, 5th gear, I kind of do like that gear indicator.
It's definitely a little different with your feet down again. A little more comfortable with the stock rear sets. So.
Dan's bike spits and pops like mine. Our bikes sound very similar already, we know that though. There's going to be a lot of masking. Dan's brakes feel really good with those stainless lines. Don't want to dirt. He might be looking to turn out, so I don't want to put too much pressure either. I'm I'm actually having fun today though, even though I don't think I'll get to ride that much. I like his weighted bar ends too. It really cuts down on the vibration. One thing is about Dan and I, we've ridden together enough where we know each other as a competent rider. I have no qualms about letting him ride my bike. If he crashes, I probably would have crashed. I mean, not worried. I'll stay behind you, man. It's all good.
The fueling on his is very smooth. This doesn't seem to have the popping I get. So I'd say his tune is a nice smooth tune. I'm sure he's hearing the popping. Well, you don't really hear it in the canyons much. It's more on the street. You get on the gas funny because of cars and stuff.
I'm not going balls out here. I'm just having fun.
The Mark II sound so similar. Alright, I don't know. It's up to him. I feel like I don't really have a negative opinion of this.
I figured he would turn here. Ew, dirt, dirt. Alright, Dano. Same name as me. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I don't really know if there's anything wrong or not.
Really?
You know, there's a lot more vibration.
Yeah.
And maybe, I'm thinking, I don't know if it's just the Woodcraft little anti-vibration things here, the weights.
No, you know why? Because, well, I rode it to the shop, and it felt one way. Now, I know it's supposed to feel different, but then I rode it back, and I just felt this, like, weird extra movement in, like, the head, especially when I'm slowing down in a straight line, lane splitting, about 30 miles an hour, 20, whatever. So that's what I'm noticing. Now you're noticing all the differences too from your bike. Because your bike's very stable, and I like those weighted bar ends. I want to get away from the plate so I can not have to mask it.
Easier to no editing.
So your bike is pretty nicely set up. So one thing I recommend for people that are interested in this bike, try to ride one.
I think I depend on that little gear switch indicator on my bike a lot more than I realize.
The dappled light's fucking with my eyes.
no. I don't know. Probably not gonna get around this guy.
Try the Ninja if you can before you buy one. And you know, any bike you're gonna buy, try it first if you can. I also recommend to people that they rent a bike before buying. That's actually an amazing option. If there's a rental place near you and it has the bike you're looking at, rent it for a day. See what's better than you thought, what's worse than you thought, what you maybe can't live with, and go from there. Dance bearings feel pretty good. So I know they can be good. So you have to stop thinking about the bearings on Dan's bike, which is what you want. Gotta love corner breakers, cagers. If this were a real ride, I'm sure we would have both passed him by now. Quick shifter on this bike's very smooth. Really nice. Good passing power on both these bikes.
I'd say our power is pretty comparable. Probably almost exactly the same.
I'm sure we'll get it dialed in. It was fun to try another Ninja 300. Very nicely modified like mine. Perhaps even more nicely modified. Because he's got a few things I want to add to mine later on. Gear indicator? Yes, please. Even his windscreen's different. I think he's got the Kawasaki double bubble. And I really like these weighted bar ends. Very nice. I gotta get some. Anyone who tried this bike or my bike, man, once my bearings are fixed, you would be blown away by the Ninja 300. You seriously would be blown away. It doesn't matter what bike you come from. This is why I let people try my bike. Superbike Sean, who rides a Gixxer 1000. Carlisle's Pix, who rides a Daytona 675R. They're all impressed by the 300 and what we can do with it. Because Dan and I have sort of been trying to make these into little sport bikes. And I think we've succeeded. I mean, it's already a good platform. Not like we're fabricators. We're just taking the budget parts and replacing them with good stuff. So did you notice anything?
Yeah, I think I felt what you're talking about.
Okay, good.
There's like extra input going on. You know, it's not you.
It's not me. It's straight line, slow speed, lane splitting even. Just because you need so much more precision, yeah. You notice some slop, right?
Something kind of a little bit.
Okay, cool. A little bit, a little bit. All right. I need my key for a sec. Oh, duh. Durr. Sorry. Not your fault, my fault. Your bike's nice though. I already know I want to get some weighted bar ends now, because that's a good thing. Plus I like the gear indicator. Yeah. I get used to that real quick.
I depend on that a lot.
I know.
What am I in, third or second?
Because you always have one on a big bike. I'm so glad that kid didn't hit you with the door.
Oh yeah, I was like, what the hell?
I got that on camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, good timing, dude. And he just looks at me like, dirt. First of all, he could have caused an accident. Second of all,
yeah, I'm on your bike.
I would have filmed him opening the door to my own bike.
Yeah. Too far forward?
Yeah. A little close.
Oh, okay.
It's okay though. You're in first. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Not a Vons Club reward member.
What do you use? 91?
I use 87.
I use 91.
You know, I actually read up on this a lot. I'm sure you did too, because you're similar in that way.
Yeah.
You just don't need 91 unless it's ethanol free. There's no point. So I switched to 87. I didn't notice any difference. So you've been riding on 87 the whole time. So you can save yourself a little money. Yay, back on my own bike. I love my bike. Just hate the bearings. I like my friction zone a lot better. Now, back on my bike, what do I notice? Turning isn't where I notice anything. It's when that bearing is in a straight line. Maybe it'll seat in or bed in or whatever. Maybe it gets better, I don't know. Okay, right now, that's where I notice it. That's it for now. Thank you for checking this out, and SpacePod out. Glad we didn't get tickets. Do you see the new Vette? Let's go look at it. Okay, here's the new Vette, boys and girls. There are no atheists at 180.
Nice.
This is the new Vette with the really nice looking Camaro tail lights. That is awesome looking in person. I'm sure the owner's probably watching me. Let's sidle up to the side here. Very cool. There it is. It's nice, man. I'm so glad to see America making some good stuff. And I've heard about the specs on this thing. It's got some intake cooling. I like that angle here. I like that rear vent.
Oh, yeah.
The vent by the sides. Looks like it's got a ram air type thing going on. Very cool. The 4 pipes right there. Let's get a rear shot. Nice. Good stuff. Okay. Alright, SpacePod out.